Well, I think the point was just made there where it's going to depend on the economy largely, where if we have some sort of economic boom and we're back to pre-COVID levels, that's probably
Mhm.
going to bode well for Biden. If we have an economic crash, that's kind of where Trump and a hypothetical DeSantis ticket could kind of ride in and be like, hey, we're here to help. We're going to bring in our conservative leadership. And we could even say Biden's lockdowns did this. Like that would
Mhm.
kind of be like the term that they could use, look back past few years, what led up to this moment.
So it's 2024.
Yeah.
The Republican ticket is officially Trump versus DeSantis, or Trump and
And
DeSantis.
DeSantis.
How are you feeling about their chances, assuming Biden and Harris, opt for a second term? Assuming that,
Oh
that's what we
my.
get in 2024. Who do you see? Who
Yeah.
do you see winning that?
Oh gosh, so much of it's going to depend on what happens in the next
Absolutely.
3.5 years.
Yep.
I mean, look, if the economy, the chances of the economy really cranking back up once it hits pre-COVID levels, the chances of it continuing to go up with the amount of spending we're doing, I think is. I don't think that's especially likely. Inflation has to kick in at some point. I mean, you just can't print money. And even I find myself sitting here thinking, when in the world, when is this finally going to happen? We have printed so much money in the last 13 years. It is eventually going to catch up with us. So but look, if the economy does absolutely take off, if we are able to avoid any serious terrorist attacks, if things on the military front stay fairly quiet, I don't know. Biden may have a decent shot at it, but good Lord, 3.5 more years of Biden trying to hold himself together mentally, and I don't mean that in a pejorative way. I don't mean it in an insulting way. I mean he's an older man who clearly has difficulty recalling things from time to time, and for him to hold that together for another 3.5 years and deal with the rigors of the campaign trail
Yeah.
and the American people to look at him in the midst of that and say, "Hey, we're willing to give you 4 more."
Yeah.
That's dicey. Whereas you've got Trump, who has always been kind of more vital than
Despite not being that much younger than
Biden.
Biden.
Yeah,
He's
but
not that
he looks
much
like
younger.
he acts like he's half his age, and then you've got somebody significantly younger in the person of DeSantis,
Yeah.
and surely DeSantis would appeal to a broader swath of Americans than Kamala and her truly unbelievable leftist background.
Oh, Kamala. Cameron, what do you think? How do you think, if you were to predict, how do you think a Trump DeSantis ticket would do against a Biden Harris ticket in 2024?
Well, I think the point was just made there where it's going to depend on the economy largely, where if we have some sort of economic boom and we're back to pre-COVID levels, that's probably going to bode well for Biden. If we have an economic crash, that's kind of where Trump and a hypothetical DeSantis ticket could kind of ride in and be like, hey, we're here to help. We're going to bring in our conservative leadership. And we could even say Biden's lockdowns did this. Like that would kind of be like the term that they could use, look back past few years, what led up to this moment. So I think that could be something that is a possibility. One thing I am a little bit confused about, though, is Trump would have to change his residency to the state of New York. So I don't really know if constitutionally, if it's possible for the president and the VP to be from the same state. That's a totally other
Oh, really?
random side point on that. But I'm not feeling too great about a like Trump victory again in 2024.
Are you not feeling great about that because you don't see it in the cards, or because you think it would not be best?
I'm going to say both on that. And the reason why I say that is Trump already lost to Biden once. And I think a lot of Republicans at this point might be kind of in the rising generation of voters, might be a little bit tired of seeing people in their 70s constantly try and run for office. And I think at that point, people are going to want to ditch Trump at that point. We still have a few years left. People might want him back, but I just don't think it's possible.